Hey everyone, it's Molly, and today we are making a vintage butter frosting recipe to go with our pumpkin cake that we just made earlier this week, and I'll leave a link above to that recipe and that video. And then these are just my things I'm going to use to decorate the cake with, and these are my ingredients. I won't be using all of that butter, so let's get started. Okay, the first thing I'm doing is I'm creaming the butter, and I just want to let you know that I am doubling the recipe because I always use more frosting than just one recipe's worth. Even though my cake is only 6 inches across, it's 6 layers, so I'm going to need a little bit more frosting than just one recipe's worth. So anyways, so I'm creaming the butter, and I'm going to gradually add the powdered sugar, and I'm going to gradually add the milk, kind of alternating adding those two things. You might have to add more milk, more powdered sugar, depending on what kind of consistency you want your final frosting to be. I'm going to be piping some decorations onto the cake, so I need it to be in a piping consistency. So I don't know if I said this earlier, but I will put the recipe down below in the video's description box so you'll have it, and let me speed this up for you guys. And don't forget to scrape everything down while you're in the middle of mixing this. And I realized at this time that I had forgotten to add the salt. Now the recipe says to add just a few grains of salt. And I used unsalted butter, even though the recipe just said butter. It didn't specify salted or unsalted. And I don't even know if they had unsalted butter back in the 40s. But I'm going to add a little bit more salt than just a few grains because I think I'm going to need it. So let's get this going. I added the salt. I guess I forgot to film that. And then in goes the vanilla, and I'm being very generous with that. And then we're going to finish mixing this, and then I'll set it aside. Okay, well, I kind of debated for a long time about how much detail to include in regards to how I decorated this cake. I decided to show some footage for it, but just know I'm not a professional cake decorator. I'm making this for my twin sister's baby shower, and she's actually way more talented at cake decorating than I am. So I ended up having to make another 2 batches of frosting because the first 2 batches that I made basically were all used up in just filling in between the layers. So if you make a cake and you use this recipe, it's very delicious because I did taste some. Just be aware that you might have to make more. I didn't think it made nearly enough, but what do I know? I always just put a generous amount of frosting. So I'm going to speed this up, and we're going to stack these. I'm not going to show you me making the other batch of frosting because you already know how that goes. And so let's get this going. Okay, so this is the second batch of frosting. I added more milk to it so it would be a lot easier to spread because I noticed with the first one, I don't think I added enough milk to make it easier to spread. So anyways, I'm gonna crumb coat this, and then I'm gonna put it in the fridge for the frosting to firm up, and then I'll put the final coat of frosting on so that it looks nice and neat, or as neat as I can possibly get it. And then I did already dye some buttercream so that I can make the pumpkins on the side and the stems and the leaves, and I already have those set aside in bags, piping bags. So those are ready to go. I really hope this doesn't look like crap because I don't really know who's all going to be at the party, and if it looks like crap and there's a bunch of people there, I'm going to be embarrassed. And also my cake is lopsided, and I probably should have leveled the top, the domed pieces, but I didn't because I was being lazy. And yeah, if it looks like crap, it's my fault, but here we go. Okay, and now for the final coat of frosting. I will speed this up. So I'm just going to say that don't decorate with this frosting because it's just not the right consistency. Or mine was too soft. I'm piping pumpkins onto the sides. I should have stopped while I was ahead, or I should have done this off camera because I was at an angle the whole time, so they're kind of slanted, but they ended up, this cake is really ugly. You'll see. It's really ugly. I was hopeful still at this point, even though I didn't really care for the colors, but, you know, I was like, oh, pink because she's having a girl, and orange for pumpkins. This will be cute. And it wasn't cute. It's not cute at all. And I made it worse by adding gold balls. You'll see the cake. See, this is why I said I'm not a cake decorator. This is really a really ugly cake. But it's probably going to taste good. I think that's going to be the case. I think it's going to be really good. So, and I'm sure Tess won't mind an ugly cake. But at least it's going to be delicious. At least I hope so. Let me speed this up for you so you can see how ugly it is. So I was trying to copy that Pinterest picture, and then I realized I didn't really know how to do the little swirls at the top, so I thought I knew how to do them, and then I'm looking at this and I'm like, this looks like total crap. But I kept going, and at least I had some common sense here after this fourth hideous swirl that I was like, yeah, no, I gotta scrape this off. Oh no, I kept going. Yeah, no, see? I scrape it all off. That's probably the only thing that's saving this cake, is that I scraped off the hideous crown. Yeah, you'll see what I did to it after this. So, when I was originally picking out a picture to copy, I was looking at another one that had gold. These are sprinkles that they'll probably break your teeth. That had these gold sprinkles all over it, and I thought that's really pretty. But then I saw this pumpkin one. I'm like, well, I should be able to pipe pumpkins, and I couldn't decide between the two, so I just said, why not both? And this is what you get. This is the ugliest cake. I actually had to call my older sister and send her a picture and said, look at this hideous cake. It's lopsided. Look at this hideous cake I made, Tess. And she was just laughing on the other end. So, I mean, it is what it is. This frosting is too soft to pipe. It probably would have been better if it had some shortening in it, because it just makes it easier, makes the piping stand up better than just all butter. But, you know, it is what it is. It's a really ugly cake. But I think it'll taste good. I'm going to put it back in the refrigerator and let it firm up. Just when you thought Halloween was over, you have an ugly cake. It's really scary. It's a 6-layer cake. You can't see inside. Oh, there's a piece. All right, let's taste this. So that means it's recording. Okay, can we get 2 forks? Are you gonna taste this?
Oh yeah.
Okay, there you go. So Addie's tasting it. You have to let me know if it's good.
Takes the biggest piece of frosting.
I know, right? Addie, is it good? Is it the best cake you ever ate? And then you want to, Ben wants to get it in the come on, Ben.
Ben, you want to get it on camera?
Yes. Come on,
Go.
come on. Ben wants to be such a pig. Ben, come try the cake.
He's being shy.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
Oh, he's feeling left out.
Okay, so it's good?
With Ben.
Ben's.
Go get Ben, and then we can try another.
Okay, Ben. Tell us what you think.
This dish. What the
I think
hell?
it's Dan Delicious.
Did you say Dan Delicious or Dan Delicious? Dan Delicious. Like Uncle Dan would like it? Okay, great.
Well, maybe I'll just have to come over and try it then.
To get like
Is
one
this the cake?
scallop
This
on
is
a-
the cake.
Did you say this was good?
You know?
Should I try?
What do you do?
It's been delicious.
Dan just shook. That was crazy. Ben did great.
Kevin, would you please play it back?
Thanks, Robin.
This is my mom, Robin. Taste the cake and tell me how it is.
Dense, pumpkin-y, delicious.
Dense. It's very good. I like it.
I do too.
No, I mean, it's a good cake. It's not.
It's good cake, Ben.
It's not gonna. It's
It's
delicious.
good cake, Daddy.
It has
Good
perfect
cake,
flavor.
Ben.
Well, you know, I wasn't sure how it turned out because it only has a half a cup of pumpkin in the whole thing, and I was like, is that gonna give it any sort of flavor?
No, it's delicious.
Yeah, and the
tastes
frosting's
like
good.
pumpkin.
The frosting is very sweet.
Do you want some cake, Matt?
So there you go. Both recipes are out of this book, Woman's Home Companion Cookbook, which
sorry?
is from 1944. And I hope to see you guys in the next video. Bye.
Second.